Northwood has been playing a game with us. Less than 24 hours ago, they released a new patch for the beta build of Secret Lab, and it is big. Immediately after release, players found that the evac shelter and entrance zone had been completely destroyed. The doors were torn open, and using a gap between the doors, players were able to spot turned over chairs, broken pipes, and bodies could even be seen littering the ground, laying in pools of blood and feces. Now this is where it gets interesting. As mentioned, when standing in this new little antechamber for the evacuation shelter, there is a rare chance you'll see this bad boy appear between the cracks for a little bit before disappearing completely. And this is indeed the intentional way that Northwood wanted us to see this little sneak peek. Immediately after this, players like myself and Tiny Tony, Ripe Banana experimented by trying to get into the room using no clip. But if you try to get too close to the door or no clip through it, you will instantly get your neck snapped as if you got killed by Peanut. Interestingly enough, even if one were to turn on God mode to try to get into the room, everything in there instantly vanishes. Whatever is in this room, Northwood does not want players to get a good look at it. While this is all huge, I was not satisfied, and so I tried to find a better way to get a good look at whatever it is this is. But no matter what we tried, every angle in the room seemed to really suck. It wasn't until Tiny Tony showed me that there was a little corner of the room that you could no-clip into without it deleting all of the items in the room. And with that, we could get a much better view of whatever this thing is. What you're seeing right now is the new model for 173 in the game, and she looks gorgeous. But I was still not satisfied. We'd only had a bit of footage, and I wanted some better angles. So, on my own testing server, I found out that you could get really good angles on the side of Matthew and even on the back. And I've got to say, this thing is absolutely terrifying. If scale is anything to go off of, he is definitely larger than any other SCP and looks like something straight out of Halo's Flood. Another thing to note is that all of the bodies, like I said, are covered in blood and feces, and with stains littering the whole room. I think this is intentional and is something new that Matthew will do: cover people in blood and poop and leave a trail of the disgusting mixture behind him wherever he goes in game. In my previous video on all of this, we saw that this guy was lurking in the reflections of the glass and windows in Peanut's tower. Check out the video if you haven't already, by the way. And whenever I asked Northwood staff about this, they call him a rendering error. And that was no different this time around when I kept bothering them about it. I think the next step for this whole rendering error ARG is that, just like in step 1, they will patch out this little bug, and then in part 3, the rendering error will show up in a new form. Some players will be seeing him instead of the regular 173 model in game. So what do you guys think of this whole thing? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while I wasn't totally on board with the whole idea of changing 173, I gotta say, this new model is definitely cool. Until next time, take it easy.